The 1% Club presents IG Talks with Dr. Mark Odige. Dr. Mark Odige, popularly known as TMO, is a wealth and investment coach with over 15 years of entrepreneurial
There's a little mess
experience.
that you are meant to fix. Everybody's meant to fix the mess. Challenge is some people never fix their own mess. And so their mess influences another person. And so we complain that the world is so messy, but it's because everybody hasn't figured out their own mess. And that's why we are facing a huge challenge. It starts with you fixing your own mess.
I have my sister, a friend, coming in today to share, strategies. How do you scale your business, especially in an economy that is stagnant? So that I'm going to be speaking. TMO is somebody she has walked the journey and definitely made the mistakes, and she has the experience to teach you. To avoid land miles and all that. So my name is Adewale Ominshaw, pioneer of the 1% Club. I also want to appreciate my team who are on the call, also doing great works behind the scene, doing wonderful things behind the scene.
The first principle I want to share with you, and I sort of have been sharing this thing in different ways over the past few years, but more intensely this month. Like this month, it's been reoccurring. It's a principle that I call that that fix your mess. Here's the thing. It's heavily linked with the idea that we all feel the world is a mess. There's always a crisis. There are challenges. The world is a mess because every individual is wired to fix the mess. There's a little mess that you are meant to fix. Everybody's meant to fix the mess. Challenge is some people never fix their own mess. And so their mess influences another person. And so we complain that the world is so messy, but it's because everybody hasn't figured out their own mess. And that's why we are facing a huge challenge. It starts with you fixing your own mess, the messiness with which you come into the world. We come into the world really messy. We think we come with perfect ideas, but that's not true. We come actually as a mess internally that we need to sort out. When you are able to sort out your internal mess, you find out it becomes easier for you to sort out the external mess, because every single person you are going to be interacting with are dealing with their own internal and outside. So it becomes worse when you haven't sorted out inside, and then you have a huge mess outside. It's like having chaotic house and then having chaos outside. Sometimes you run out of the chaos outside and say, let me come into the calmness of inside my house. But if inside your house is not calm, it is also messy, then it becomes a complicated challenge. Many people struggle with business because surely you're thinking it is the economy of the country you are in, or you are thinking it's because of the customers, the products, the people you are dealing with, your colleagues, your staff. If you're in the corporate world, if you own the business, you are thinking that maybe it is marketing materials, the videos, how am I pushing? But guess what? You cannot solve the out external mess if you don't solve the internal mess. If you don't learn to deal with the noise in your mind, if you don't learn to manage the crisis going on in your head, you probably will struggle with solving the external mess that is the reality of life, because the external mess will still be there no matter what. The mess in the world has always been there, and they brought out Carnegie. The mess was in the world and we had Rockefeller. The mess was in the world and we currently have Jeff Bezos. The mess was in the world and we have Dangote. The mess is in Nigeria. We have Strive Masuiwa. The mess is still in Africa. But some people were able to figure out a way because they first solved the mess within themselves. I think the first thing I'll share with this community that desires to be among the 1% is to realize that there would always be challenges around you. You are never going to live in a world that will be free of mess. You are going to get adept at navigating the mess. You are going to become a masterful, messy person. You will know how to deal with the challenges part time, because it never ends. At no point For every time you scale to the next level, you enter a new pool of mess that you are meant to now sort out. Then you finish sorting out the mess and you're feeling yourself like, I've arrived at this level. I figured it out. Then another, because the truth is, every entrepreneur, every human being is wired to keep looking for trouble where there's no trouble. Consciously and unconsciously. It is our wiring. And so it is the reason why somebody should be content with being a slave now. Okay, so you are a slave. You should just be eating as a slave. No, you still are asking for freedom. Then you become free. You say you are fighting battles to maintain your freedom. Hello, you could have gone back to being a slave. There would always be a mess. I think the first thing I want to say is sort out the internal mess. And we need to go through the journey of internal mess per time. And I'm saying that because I've always known this thing. I feel like the world is, there's a particular story I heard that they said the world, somebody took a map of the world and cut it into pieces and told somebody, take this paper and join it back together. And the person was like, how am I supposed to fix the world? But at the back of the image that has the world, there was an image of Jesus. And they were like, oh, if you can fix that image of Jesus on one side, you realize that if you flip it, you are fixed the world. And since I heard that story, I always see everything around me like the world is a puzzle. My life is a puzzle. Once I fix myself, I'm able to better fix every other thing I am going through. As an entrepreneur, you face challenges with your business, and the easiest thing to do is lash out at your team or complain about the economy or complain about the challenges. I play in the real estate space in Nigeria as well as in the US. Oh, trust me, I thought, now I'm facing challenges in Nigeria until you buy a house in the US that has a tenant already and the tenant is refusing to leave the house or pay more rent. And you are at a loss because the rent the tenant is paying does not make sense for you, and you felt, okay, I'll evict this tenant, increase the rent, get somebody else. Oh yeah, we have been on the matter. 4 months now, we are waiting for the tenant to agree to increase rent or leave. And the law is on the side of the tenant. So we are landlords that are sitting ducks waiting for the tenant out of his own goodwill to leave. And if we take the tenant to court, we've entered another kind of mess because the tenant can choose not to pay while the case is going on in court, and we would have to be paying lawyers. There's going to be mess everywhere. You have to become adept at handling it without it becoming a personality for you. You have to be going through tough situation and you smile and you enter a new deal. They said entrepreneurs, actually, they use it for entrepreneurs, but I feel like human beings must be able to go from one disappointment to another disappointment without losing steam. Somebody just said no to you, they just smacked you, and you stood up again and you go and meet another person and say, Mr. Dewale, I have this amazing idea. Don't you think we can do ABCD? Mr. Dewale says no. You say, okay, we go and meet Mr. Kayode. Mr. Kayode, I have this amazing idea. Don't you think? And Mr. Kayode says no. And you say, okay, then you go and meet Gina. And Gina was like, no. And they're looking at you. If everybody knows the level of no you receive before you get a yes, they will be rolling out the red carpets for you every time you arrive, because you have to be able to manage all those no's, remain enthusiastic about your dreams, believe that your dreams are valid, and the next person will say yes until you find that yes. Sorting out your inner mess. The inner mess is you learning to believe in the possibility despite the no's you get. It is that inner mess that would help you realize the fact that I was having a conversation with people I was teaching yesterday. These are realtors with my company. And I told them, I said that you embrace each month with a target of what you want to achieve. This is your KPI. This is the target I want to achieve. And I set this target for myself like, oh, I'm embracing this new month with this target. I said, and you believe and you chant and you do the affirmation and you are so pumped up. But there are building blocks that your faith will not move those building blocks. There are building blocks that your affirmation and your mindset will not move it. You can believe it, but you need to carry out specific steps to actualize your desired goals. You have only sold a threshold. Maybe you've sold 10% all your life and you want to be able to sell 50% in a day. There is a person that sells that kind of thing. You need to become that person. You need to acquire that knowledge. You need to think like that person. You need to read the books that person reads. I moved from makeup into real estate. Okay, you guys don't understand. I moved from makeup, the makeup industry, maybe 150,000 naira. Oh, you are a premium makeup artist, you would get maybe 500,000 naira for a bridal makeup, which is usually once in a while, but party makeup, maybe 50,000 naira. And I'm giving naira because I operate dominantly in Nigeria, and I know you might operate in different parts of the world, but like, imagine going from where you are getting paid 15,000 to 20,000 naira, and you go into an industry where you are asking people to pay you in the minimum. One deal gets you millions of naira, or you close a million naira deal, you're making 100,000 naira from just selling one transaction as your commission. And if you are a person who everybody that has patronized you on a consistent basis, we're paying you 15,000 naira, you're asking them to pay you 1 million, 5 million, it's a different ball game. You need to become a different person to appeal to that level. If you are someone who is in that space where you are trying to sell a market that you have not sold before, if you do not become that person fixing the inner mess, you will not be able to deal with the problems that come on the outside. Because you have to strongly believe in yourself to the extent that you can convince someone that has only ever paid you 15,000 naira that you are now able to collect their 5 million naira and you will not disappear. They need to see you and sense the fact that you can handle it, you understand it. It is why people say, look the part, dress the part, speak the part. And they are equally important. But the most important is become the part. Because if you look the part, you speak the part, it is all outside. By the time they dig into you a little bit, they will find out that you are not the part, because it is not, you have not become that person. And on that journey of becoming is a lot of challenges. It's a lot of will play. Your will must be strong. You must have in-depth belief in yourself and your ability to master that new industry. Imagine when Jeff Bezos went into being a bookseller. It was easy to say that, oh, he was just selling books, until he started adding other products into Amazon. That was him trying to play in a different field. Of course, he would feel uncomfortable. People would feel like, this is where we buy books. It's not where we buy this. It's not where we buy that. Why are we having to buy this and that there? What we know we buy here are books. And then suddenly he's now saying, deal with me. I am now blue. What's this? Is business? Oh my goodness. What's this? Is Blue Ocean. Blue. He has this is Blue Oxygen. It has a space business. Sorry, I am more in the Tesla world than in the Jeff Bezos space world. But and he's asking you to deal with him like, this is okay. We know you are a successful person from Amazon, but why would I believe you will be able to handle the space world? Why would I feel you can handle space? And so he would feel and face a lot of rejection, but he would have to deal with the personal mess. He would deal with the internal mess before he's able to handle that external one. So bringing it into sales, you would have to, I dealt with it. I had to believe that I can, and then convince everybody I'm relating with that I can. And that is the process of sales. Sales is that I believe Seaway is the best water for you. I have to believe it. I believe Seaway is good. I believe I can sell Seaway. Then I convince Mr. Adewale that this is what you need in your life. Whatever you have been drinking is not good. The moment I am able to transfer my conviction about how good this is to you, you become my client. And then you buy it. Why do you buy it? You buy it because you become convinced based on the level of conviction I carry that this is good for you. Maybe you drink another kind of water, Aquafina, you might be drinking ever. You can be drinking whatever spring water you are drinking, but TMO is convinced that everybody needs to come onto Seaway. That's the way Tesla is convincing everybody that Tesla is the way. Like, oh, we must go electric. This is the way. And then people are now buying that ridiculous looking Cybertruck, and everybody's now stopping and looking at it like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh, this guy sketched, literally, I feel like he sketched this car as a child, that I would love to do something like this when he was a child. And he's manifesting his childish dream of the shape of a ridiculous car. He calls it futuristic. People are spending a huge amount of money buying it and feeling good. They have been able to imbibe his conviction. If you are not closing sales, you are not convinced enough to transfer that conviction to others. You need to first deal with the inner mess and convince yourself, I have a good product. If you are working in a corporate environment, you are not getting promotion, or maybe you are not getting the kind of promotion you want, and the moment you start believing, maybe they don't like me here, maybe I don't fit right here, I'll just tell you, leave that place. Because if you are unable to fit the mess within you in that environment, you would invariably turn a clean. Have you employed a dirty person into a clean room and realize that within 1 week, maximum 1 month, the clean room becomes dirty? Is the analysis of, you take this your fine shirt and give it to a dirty person. In 3 months, you will not recognize your shirt again. A shirt you wore for 6 years and you maintained the shirt. Let's even say you wore the shirt for 1 year. The shirt was so good. You now dashed somebody that shirt, but the person does not have the same, the person is not clean on the inside. That person will transform your amazing shirts into their own mess. You need to sort. See, if there's anything I'm leaving with you today, sort your inner mess. You need to sort the inner mess, because every time you sort it, the person who comes out on the other side is stronger. The person who comes out on the other side is more like, have you not seen people that you feel this person must be crazy, but I like, as in like, he's so crazy, but it's just so, he's taking ownership of his craziness. We all know this person is crazy, and suddenly we're not asking ourselves like, maybe it's just us that we are looking at this person like he's crazy. But like, you've believed the person is crazy all your life, and suddenly, because he has so taken charge of this grace, that you will now begin to question your interpretation of what crazy is, and you start giving excuse for the craziness. Put it into your business, put it into your career. How well are you sure of yourself and your confidence? How confident are you in the value you carry? People need to see you and be like, what? Mind you, I'll go back to the Cybertruck. Was this not the same truck that they threw stone? They threw brick at the truck, and the screen smashed. It was a public display of the messiest mess you can have is that you are doing a live streaming of this. We have created this super piece, and then you throw a rock and you're like, I'm sorry, that wasn't meant to happen. Guess what? It came out of that mess and people are buying it. Why? He figured out how to be convinced that what he's doing deserves you all to contribute your money to it. So whether you're selling insurance, or you're selling cars, or you're selling houses, or you are selling, like, I got into the US and I found out I'm in Nigeria. I am buying a house in America. It's not like I have more money than some of you people that are living in America. So I was now explaining to them that, do you know that you can actually have a secondary investment house in America right here? And the person was like, I'm wondering, hello, I came from the Nigeria. You have been living here for the past 10 years. How come I'm the one educating you about the opportunities for investment? But I don't take it personal. I take it as my job. I'm an apostle of real estate as a wealth creation tool. The more convinced I am, imagine how Muslims were able to convince, some people said in the past, religion was brought in by war. But now religion is not brought in by war, it's brought in by conviction. The pastor is convincing you every day with so much passion and conviction that many of you will drop your last card in the church because you want to sow a seed. Yes, you drop your first fruit. You gather all your savings that you have been saving all your life because you have listened to the pastor. You are so charged up. Guess what? The pastor is a human being like you, and he can charge you up on anything. You know, some people are so good as pastors and they are broke. I spoke to a group of pastors' wives, and I'm like, why are you broke? You are able to charge up people on religion. You can't charge them up on your business. What? That means you need to convince yourself of your product. You are so convinced Jesus is the way, but you're not convinced that Seaway is the way. Seaway, everybody buys Seaway. Everybody buys. I say you will carry the matter on your head. You are so convinced and you transfer your conviction to other people. Then you close sales. Why do you get promotion? Not because you are the best person in the office, because I'm sure somebody is better. You know someone who is your boss in the office that you know the job more than that person. That person has been able to carry a level of conviction and convince the people that matter that he deserves the promotion or she deserves promotion more than you. All you need to do is to also embody that level of conviction that you deserve the promotion more than the person. That's where your promotion comes to you. Oh, you're very good. But if you are very good and your colleagues don't know you are very good, visibility is power. You run a business. How visible are you? You're complaining about sales, but you are hiding yourself. But why exactly are you hiding yourself? Because you have not fixed your inner mess. That's why you hide. Let's call a spade a spade. When you are fixed your inner mess, you come outside with your market boldly. You speak up in the office. The fact that you feel you're not a public speaker is inner mess. The fact that you feel I don't know how to market, inner mess. The fact that you feel that people say no to me, I don't know how to move on, is inner mess because people said no to every successful person. The reason they're successful is because they were able to move on from the no's and were consistent enough to receive the yes. So your inner mess is to find a way to deal with the challenges you face without personalizing it. I had after that tenant that I've not been able to sort out, guess what? Even I internalized it. I stopped selling the US houses. I was like, I'm dealing with too much. And you know, I am buying as a group. People are gathering $10,000 to join me to buy it. So I'm talking to like 9 people. We've been having meetings. Oh my goodness, guys, you don't understand. You know, they are dragging me. They are complaining. TMO, we are supposed to get 8% in the worst case in this investment. I know where I can put money and this will work. I put my money in this thing because of you. You did not tell me there will be an existing tenant. And I'm like, I'm in Nigeria, you know. I traveled to the US to sort this thing out. Paid for tickets is impossible. Before I will make up the money that it cost me to go to the US to sort out this thing, it will cost me having maybe like 3 years on the house. They don't see that part. We are all co-investors. Oh, like I brought in 10,000, you brought in 10,000, but it's me that is carrying the matter on my head. I'm now going to America to go and discuss with the agents. I came back. We've not been able to resolve it. They are dragging me. I have to tell them. I say, guys, I actually paid for tickets because of this situation. And you don't understand. You're looking at it like it's my problem. And because I was feeling so overwhelmed, the mess was getting to me. I stopped pushing my message. I stopped marketing. I'm like, whoa, let me just wait. I'm not selling the American house again. Let me stay the one that is under my control here. Until last week, I just looked at myself and said, Tokwe, you can be good in these areas. You are not able to sort out this mess. You have carried and internalized the challenge of this particular project. You have internalized it and you stopped marketing. That means you gave up on a project that is successful because you faced a challenge on one house. If you give up like this, you will run out of businesses to do. So I told myself, and I called my assistant who is working on the house with me. I said, we are going back to selling the US house. He said, but you said we should stop until we sort out this. I said, we cannot stop because we face a challenge. We continue. The challenge will resolve itself. We continue moving. This is me telling you about my current reality. And even as much as I'm a coach, I understand these things. And I do it in the real estate. I do it in other areas of my life. Guess what? I still miss it in some areas. Some challenges will face you and you just be like, let me just hide. You just want to enter inside the ground because it's overwhelming. Then you just pull yourself out and tell you and reframe the situation that yes, this project is a challenge. I am not challenged. I am dealing with one challenging project. I will figure it out. But if I give up, I don't figure it out. I only fail when I stop trying. So I continue trying until I figure it out. So we go back to it and we try it again until we figure it out. So you need to ask yourself, based on this conversation, what is the mess I am avoiding? Because there must be a mess you are avoiding, a mess you refuse to deal with. Oh, I don't like to do presentations. I don't like to post on social media. I don't want to put my life out there. I don't want people to know so much about me. My mom was like, somebody sent her a message, and I mean, she's a landlord, and she was trying to fix something in her house, and she said that she had issues with the tenant. So the tenant had told the tenant that I have bought borehole, I have dug borehole, they stole borehole, there's still issue. And the tenant said, but you can go, I don't have money. The tenant said, you can go and ask your daughter now. She just came back from America. And now mommy now said I should stop posting all this my travel and all that. I say, mommy, I'm not going to stop posting. Because everybody will be looking at you. I say, mommy, there's no other option. I'm not going to, because of what people would think or say, not live my life. And because people would assume something. I said, mommy, they send me bills too now. Somebody will send me a message. I say, you said you just bought a house in America. They cannot even let me pay school fees. I'm asking common school fees for my son. Common school fees. I deal with that. But I'm not going to stop marketing because somebody is looking at me like I've arrived. How will I arrive if I stop marketing? I'm never going to arrive. So I am going to continue marketing despite all of that challenge. And I would say this, the idea that I need to hide, and I understand cybersecurity. I understand the importance of protecting my children, protecting privacy. I watched the series You. Oh my God, I couldn't watch it till the end. It was just such a psychological torture for me because I saw how I'm so much on social media. Like, you can know my entire life on social media, a large part of what I post. And I'm very honest, I don't fake it online. So it means if you actually just study my social media, you will know this is how, even if I don't post my crying videos on my feed, if you check my stories, the day I'm crying, you will know that is a crying day because I'll put it there. No matter the challenge you are going through, God will make a way. I just finished crying right now and I'm very inspired. I put everything there and I watch this psychological thriller, You, and it's not even a thriller. It's about someone murdering people and getting the scoop on how to know everything about their life online, where they live, their address, the color of their house. It was like, oh my God, this can be dangerous. You need to be more careful about these things. I understand that part. But I do not believe in the idea of letting fear, because once you allow fear to control your life, you've entered into a different level of mess. And like I said, you always need to sort the inner mess. So you need to always approach every situation and ask yourself, is it the inner mess or the outer mess? Because if you sort the inner mess, you can deal with the outside mess. Every outside mess. If you sort the inside, you can deal. Children might do what they want to do. The country, Canada is going through their own. Buying a house is challenging. Rent has gone up for many people. The cost of living is really going high. America is doing their own. Trump is clamping down on many things. Inflation is skyrocketing over there. The cost of living is going up. That's outer mess. Now, outer mess might never end. You sorting inner mess will give you capacity to deal with the outer mess. Have you seen skits and videos of true life stories of, you see a driver, somebody will just brush the car and the guy will come down, remove shirts and start punching and fighting. That is not the car. It's not the car they bashed though. It's internal mess. What you are seeing outside, that fight, that display of unusual reaction is not based on what is happening, they bashed your car or something. No, someone is driving and you did a bad turn and they flipped the finger at you. It's not you, it's them. It's the internal mess they've not dealt with that is displaying itself outside. This morning, it was a Saturday morning in my estate, and it's the last Saturday of the month. So we have community meeting, and I'm in the ESCO of my homeowners association at the community. And like about 6 people reported the same lady. She moved into this place less than a year ago, and she's a tenant, and she has shown off that she has plenty mess that she needs to deal with. She has anger issues. She doesn't respect people. She is a cursing champion. She is like the curses. She's raining curses. She parks on the road. She will not park in the right place. She blocks the road. This year, she has not paid her dues. They stopped her from taking her children out of the estate, and she blocked the middle of the road and was raining curses. Full-grown adults. And we all said, this is a very badly behaved person. Everybody. And we were trying to get the landlord. And the landlord promised us right there and then on speakerphone that he's not going to allow her renew her rent. Bad behavior. She has not sorted her inner mess. It has put her in made her a public embarrassment because she didn't sort her inner mess. You know, there are ways you behave that would close down opportunities. Some people lost their job just because I was telling my team yesterday that I know someone personally who was supposed to get an opportunity. She was coming to the office to sign the contract, and she fought with the security men, and they locked the gate. They didn't let her come inside. She didn't know she was going to sign the contract. She felt it was last phase interview, but all of us, I was part of the panel that interviewed her. We had decided that we wanted her to start work immediately. So she was just coming to sign contract. And we're waiting. She didn't come. She now called the gate. This is your gate man. And we heard the way she was talking to the gate man, and we felt, we don't want this person in our organization. No. Even the security men were like, they're not entering this office today. You think you know people, you will not enter this office today. End of discussion. She lost that job just because she was not able to manage her inner mess. There are some people you will meet. I've met people today who have bought properties in the tens of millions from me that 3 years ago could not even afford 1 million naira. If I had disrespected them in their season of lows where they didn't have much, they wouldn't be able to come to me and give me over 30 million naira to buy a property. You need to understand that everything you do reflects on who you are on the inside. I cannot pour out Fanta from a Coke bottle. Sort out your inner mess. If you want your life to be Fanta, you cannot continue to imbibe the culture, behavior, and the mess around Coke, because that is not what you want your reality to be. You need to wash yourself. I want to be pure water, clean spring water. And there you are, imbibing poison, and you are surprised that your reality does not reflect. It will reflect what you put in. So everything around you you must guard and guide. You must guard your heart, guide yourself, because you would only give what you have. So the fact that you are in this meeting means that you are interested in sorting out your mess. And from this, I can't tell you your entire mess, but if you are honest with yourself, look into the mirror, it is you that can see, because guess what? You are seeing a bit of my true face today because I'm not using makeup. But if you see my makeup face, you would not see this. I would not give you this look. And if I choose to give that to you, I'm the one that knows that how many pimples I actually have. I know the number of spots because I look at. If I now delude myself into thinking that my made-up face is my real face, that's a huge crisis. I've spoken on self-acceptance because it is extremely important to accept yourself. But don't say this is what I am, this is who I am, that's all. No. This is who I am, but I want to be better. That is why Elon Musk now has front air. He did not have before. He has gone to do transplant or something. Jeff Bezos, they were all skinny looking guys. Have you seen Mark Zuckerberg recently? The guy is going to the gym, he's boxing, he's doing stuff, he's building muscle. He did not say, this is who I am, I'm a skinny person. He went to the gym, now he has muscles. Accept who you are, but chart a course towards who you want to be. You want to live a life, you want to have over $1 million in income? Because I'm doing that for myself. I live in Nigeria, and my target 3 years ago was I want to do over $1 million in a year. And we did. And we did the second year. And then Nigeria happened to me. My Naira became paper. Before I could judge $1 million with 700 Naira. Now I have to do ×2 to be able to still make that same target. Suddenly, by evaluation, I'm no longer doing $1 million in a year just because of the macroeconomics of devaluing the Naira. How do you think that makes me feel? So I realized that, okay, when Naira was 700, I was doing $1 million. And I still want to do $1 million. So it's not like the target I've not been able to increase the targets. See what I'm talking about? Macroeconomics. I'm still maintaining targets, but I'm now struggling to meet that same target because dollar now is now 1,600 naira from 700. It's not double. It's like times almost going to like 2.5. So it means whatever I was doing 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I need to do 2.5 of it to still achieve that. Of course, I can decide to feel bad and say, what a country. Well, I'm carrying my kaya. I'm going to Canada and America. Or just deal with the reality of what I'm facing. And look at it that this is a mess I'm going to deal with by first believing in myself and the capacity that if you could do it at 700 naira, you can do it at 1,600 naira. You can do it at whatever the exchange rate is. If you need to, oh God, it's not a faith-based organization and a faith-based meeting. I am a Christian. I draw a lot of strength from my journey with God. And it's always a struggle for me to do an entire session without referring one way or the other to a Bible character. So permit me to go there. And I love David. David encouraged himself. You came back from a battle. You met your house a mess. Everything is gone. And you look at yourself and like, wow. I just literally, even the wives and the children were taken away. So he cried. Believe me, I'm a crier. When I'm saying deal with the mess, I will cry. When I see the mess, I will first cry. Some of you guys don't cry. I'm telling you, you need to cry. It's good. Honestly, just cry. And then clean your face, wash your face, and then start writing. Sometimes it helps to just release that emotion. Women enjoy bliss when it comes to crying. Men, I hear some of you guys now cry. You go into the toilets to do it. You hide yourself. Please don't be ashamed of crying. Just cry the cry. It is a good part of the journey and is a part of the process. Because David is a king and he cried. All of them wailed together. And then he encouraged himself and went to meet God and asked, should I go? Will I win? And God said, go and you will win. And he went and he won. So essentially what that means there is that no matter the mess you face, it's okay to cry and feel bad about it in that moment, but wipe your tears and put your pen to paper and ask yourself, what do I want to do from this point forward? Yes, I want to build I want to have $1 million in revenue. And I did it. And then Nigeria turned my money into paper. And I could cry, but I have to face it and say, okay, now that this is my reality, what am I do? And I'm doing it. That's why we are earning dollars now. That's why I'm selling houses in America. Why? Because I realize that if I'm able, it's easier for me to make $1 million as a goal if the business is $1 now. Doesn't mean I have to live completely there. We have to start thinking. When you decide to confront the challenges, you start opening the doors, the opportunity of creativity in your head. It will start rolling up, and you start seeing different slides of how to handle the situation. So your situation would differ from mine. My examples might not relate to you, but if you are being real to yourself, there is an internal mess that you can sort out. That in sorting that will help you better manage the external. Another story that I usually like, still in my David, I think I love David because I'm such a messy person. Guys, you don't see it outside, but my husband will be able to tell you that I'm a whole lot of mess. And that's life. You don't need to see it. Nobody needs to see it. What they see outside is what is important. But as long as I keep on confronting my mess and sorting it out, what you would see is the achievements. So David later went on, even though he did a lot of horrible things, like killing somebody's husband so that he can marry the wife. He did some horrible things, like all the wives and concubines that he gathered together on the journey of this matter. Horrible things, but yet God loved him. Why? He knew how to cry when it was necessary, apologize where it was needed, and create a path for restitution. But let me tell you a part of David I really, really like in the Bible, which is that even after he was anointed, he was still a shepherd for 15 years before he became the king. He knew. It's like the way you feel in your spirit that you are destined to run a multi-billion-dollar company, and yet you are struggling to make 1,000. Imagine that was the way David is. Now, in your own case, you feel it in your spirit, but imagine when somebody now comes to meet you, the greatest prophet in the town comes to meet you and anoints you and say, You are the new king. And then they sent you back. You started taking care of sheep. You're fighting lion, you're fighting bear. Could make sense now. Like, I don't understand. I'm a king. So much so that he became errand boy to his senior brothers. They say, well, your brothers are fighting war. You in your house, I'm a king. They say, no, you cannot join the warriors. Carry food and go and give them. Imagine you don't sort out your ego. And David didn't sort out his ego. And he says, I cannot be errand boy. I'm not going to carry the food. He wouldn't find the opportunity to hear what the prize was going to be for the winner, the person who finally kills Goliath. He needed to have been humble enough, not bitter, to carry the food and go and give his elder brothers. Sometimes our pride, our ego is holding us back from some opportunities because those pride and ego have become your mess. You need to sort out those inner mess. And so David carried the food and went to give it to his brothers. He was already anointed king in the presence of everybody. He knows he was anointed to be the king of Israel. The person who said it is the highest prophet of the city, of the country. And yet he spent 15 years without being near to the palace. And then he decided to go and fight Goliath, and he fought Goliath and he won. And he got a prize. They gave him money, they gave him wife. And yet he was close to the palace and he still was not the king. That is you facing external mess. But do you know how David sorted those external mess? It's because he was facing the internal one. He was sorting he couldn't fight. He couldn't fight those battles. If you read Psalms, I love Psalms, you get to know how David was dealing with his mess. Psalm 25 spoke about how I trust in you, God, you will not put me to shame. That is someone who was dealing with, it is in a battle of his life. And he was holding on to the person who could sort out his internal mess for him. I was advising a friend to go for therapy, get a coach. I'm like, I know you have prayed, but this internal mess will cost you. Go and talk to a counselor. I'm a certified life coach, but I don't practice. So I was appealing to her to talk to a professional, because if you don't sort out this mess, you will lose your marriage, you will lose your children, because the person was already walking the path. And I could see the mess, but I could not handle. I said, you are praying, but I don't think prayer alone will help you deal with this thing. You need counseling, you need coaching. So if you are trying to deal with figuring out sales, yes, you are in this class. Yes, you have prayed, but you might need to take a course on sales. You might need to watch a YouTube video on sales every day. I kid you not. I listen to podcasts on sales. I have like 3 sales people that I follow. There's this Andy guy. The guy is like beast mode all the time. He's always doing ice baths. He's such a aggressive salesperson. I need his energy in my life. So whenever I'm feeling like, oh, I'm trying to figure out the sales thing, I just go into his YouTube or listen to his podcast on Spotify, and I get gingered. You need to get professional knowledge on your field of interest to achieve the goals you've written for yourself. You need to find the expert who has mastered that field. I will follow Dr. Olumide anywhere. He understands a whole lot more than I just clocked 40 this year. He's lived 15 years more than me. And he has done far much more in terms of, for me, it's not even about him alone and his knowledge. It's that this guy has, permit me to call him my guy, he has like, let me say that he's coaching like 20 top real estate companies. He knows their challenge, their opportunities, how they're managing it. So if I talk to him, I'm not just getting his own knowledge. I'm getting to get. Sometimes when I keep talking to him, he'll be like, "But do you know that this company, they're also going through the same thing? And this is how I told them to deal with it. You can borrow from this strategy to also deal with yours. Follow who know road. If you don't know the road, figure out your inner mess and be humble enough to find that person that is achieving success in your field, in your office. If you want to become the boss in your office, follow the people who are achieving that same mileage and decide that bumper to bumper. Because I will learn something. Something would drop when I listen to them every day. You don't say I ate today, I'm not eating tomorrow. So you cannot say I studied sales yesterday, I'm going to study sales tomorrow. Hello. Every day, the knowledge is changing. Things are changing. More information is coming out. AI is transforming how we are engaging with the world. It's increasing our speed of performance. How well have you studied it and how it can amplify your productivity? You need to know how to use all the tools. So it's good to listen to me. I can motivate you and ginger you and tell you, hoo, ha, you are a winner. I'm a winner. We can do it. We can do it. We are winners. We are winners. Oh, we have won $1 million in a year. $1 million in a year. Trust me, I can give you all that kind of energy. But guess what? The practical step within your industry, you need to get it from industry experts. You need to have a mentor. You need to have coaches. You need to, even if you cannot develop a personalized relationship with them, like I have with some of my mentors, I have mentors that I don't have one-on-one relationship with. I just follow their YouTube. Guess what? They mentor me. I don't need to have a one-on-one relationship with them, but they are living the life I desire to live myself. So I follow them so that what I see, I become. I see them and I see them and I see them. And I do not allow myself to be distracted by the people that are seeing the crisis and the problem. I see those who have found a way to figure out their mess in this very messy world, and they are achieving phenomenal success. And I say, if they can, I can. If they can do it, I will. So I look at them, I watch their videos, I watch their interviews, I watch their pictures, I watch them, and I tell myself, if they can, I can. I just need to figure out the mess. And there are external mess that will not go away, but I will ensure I'm able to, navigate my way through it. So like I said, it's personal for every one of you. Well, you can make a list of the things you need to work on. You can make a list of your weakest areas and decide this and this and this is how I want to work on it. Okay, I need to work on anger management, or I need to work on pitching. I need to work on how to handle customers' objections as a salesperson. Customers' objections as a salesperson. How do I connect my product emotionally to people? Am I truly convinced my product is good? Am I truly convinced my product is good? Will I buy my product? I have an estate in Benin. I'm not even marketing it. I'm not convinced. I know it is a good estate. I know it's a profit, but I'm living in Lagos. I'm not seeing the money there. So after thinking about it, I told my husband, because my husband is currently in Benin and he went to visit the property today. And I told him, I said, see, guy, let's just first perfect. Let's do the CFO. Once we finish the CFO, we are going to partner with someone who lives in Benin, who can have a more personalized value connection with that property that will sell it. So I stopped selling it. I was like, oh, this place is not just selling. It's a lie. I was not convinced. I had to face it. It is the moment I get convinced that I'm able to sell it. So I stepped back and said, okay, thankfully, I don't have any financial obligation. I fully paid for the property. I can leave it there. It's land. It will appreciate. So good. Let's leave it as land banking while I sell the ones that I am more gingered about. The only way I can sell that product is to find someone who is around there, who sees the value on a more personal level and is convinced. The person can spread the conviction better. You need to understand that you have to love your product, connect with your product. I told you I stopped selling my US house because it was stressful for me. And I lost the energy. But the energy is coming. If you follow me online, you will see it in the next few. You will see it, because just this week I decided that I'm going back into this thing. I'm telling you, this week, since I came to the US, I have not even posted about it. I've not mentioned it. I even told my staff, all the people asking you, tell them that we stopped. Somebody even sent a message. I said, we've closed sales for now. I'm telling you, somebody wants to pay for the house. And I said, we've closed sales. For you to understand how much I allowed the external mess to get in my mind and stop me from seeing the opportunity in a business deal. You need to continue to talk to yourself. Get the skills where needed, because we all need skills. Be real. Be honest with yourself. When I told you, I said, I can cover my face with makeup and delude myself into saying that made up version of me is the real me. No, this is the real me. Actually, the real me doesn't even have earrings or glasses on. And I have to love and accept that real me like that. I have to see the pimples whenever they come out, or the stress, or whatever it is. I was telling my friend, she has a gray hair in the center of her head, so she has to bend for you to see it. I say, my own gray hair is right in the front. You cannot dodge it. You are getting old. deal with it. Like I cannot dodge that matter. Is right there. Oh, is that gray? Yes, it is. Yes, it's growing. Is wisdom. Give it positive meaning, but that's life. Whatever it is you're facing, whatever that challenge is, whether it is with selling, whether it is with building your business, whether it is with managing your staff, because my dear, human beings, you guys are difficult. It is not easy to manage you. You guys carry a lot of baggage. And now, if you decide to be Oga of a group of people, you must be able not just to manage your own mess, you have to manage their own mess too. You need to, because the days they have challenges with their parents, their children, it reflects on the organization. You guys have, like, you're wonderful. So whether it is with managing human resources, I'm counselor. This week I had to tell we laid someone off. We gave them 1 month notice because I've been managing this person since last year, and the person has never met target. Actually, the person has never made 10% of targets since for over like 6 months. I was like, okay, at this point, I no longer run a charity. I need to fire this person. I needed to get into that space and sent warning to every other person. The moment it clocks 6 months of you not meeting your targets, just know by yourself, resign. By yourself. Because I'm an emotional person. Remember, I cry. So I'm this person that feels like my younger sister, my younger brother. I know their struggles. I was going to fire one of my staff, and we got into the car and we started talking. And then she started crying. And then I invited her to move into my house with me. No, literally, the conversation was for me to fire. When she finished talking about her life problem, I realized she did not even have a house. Like that's part of the issue. I say, okay, just, I have like a spare room, just move in with me. She stayed with me for 2 years. This is a staff that I felt was underperforming. Have I been able to now find a lot of use to her? Yes. But the point was, it wasn't my business to become the landlord. I run a business. So I've had to go and learn how to separate my emotions from my business. If you are a CEO, you need to be able to manage. You can be the kind, warm CEO, but like the target is targets. If not, your business is going to die if you don't learn those things. So I needed to become that person that can have those tough conversations. 3 months ago, I had a conversation with somebody and we slashed the person's salary by 50%. I said, you either take a 50% cut or you leave. Those kind of conversations are tough for me to have before, but I had to learn and become the kind of person that can have those kind of conversations by studying and following and working with consultants. Find the areas of weakness depending on your field. It will differ. It might be with marriage. It might be with parenting. Get a parenting coach. Take those courses. Find the knowledge and execute on it. Thank you so much for spending, you're in different time zones. Mr. Adewale is afternoon, me, it's evening. For somebody, it's whatever time. Mariah is in China right now, so it is night, like pure, like they are already winning tomorrow because they are like far ahead of Nigeria. So imagine how that will be. And please fix your mess and don't feel bad about it. Own it. I do have mine and I'm working on mine every day and I'm ticking it off that I've dealt with this. I've dealt with my ego. I've dealt with it. I've dealt with my inability to have tough emotional conversations. And then I keep ticking it off like that, one after the other. Deal with it. See yourself, love yourself. Inspire and motivate yourself. Ginger yourself. We all need it. And understand the fact that the external mess is not going to go. But if you fix yourself inside, you can manage anything that happens outside. Anything, no matter how tough it is. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewale, for the opportunity to share with your community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You have said, oh, you were saying something, right?
No, I'm good. You have the floor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
By now, I don't take you for granted. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Appreciate what you represent, what you stand for. It's been from the first day I connected with you, watched the diligence, watch what you do, watch everything, the excellence you put into your stuff, the professionalism you put into yourself, it's top notch. But there's some level of intentionality that you must put into yourself daily, and it's a daily work.
Let,
And
let
you
me
can't
even
give
share
up.
something with you. Let me share
Right.
something quickly. I am big on affirmation. I've always been. It's one of my super, for like over the past 10 years, I've been consistent with affirmation daily. I understand that there are habits. If you've read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, if you've read there's this book by, oh gosh, I can't remember. It's about the 5 a.m. club. Robin Sharman, he wrote a book about the habits, a few habits that you must have. If you've read there's another book that I read years ago about habits too, like a lot of books on habits. And I created my habits of what I would do regularly. I created, these are the things I need to do. I need to read the Bible. I need to pray on a daily basis. I need to study on a daily basis. I must read a book on a daily basis, whether audiobook or physical book. I must read, spend like a few minutes reading book on a daily basis. And I must exercise, because something about everybody says it. Every successful person, they tell you, oh, be outdoor, wake up and go outside and go looking at you. So I was doing it too. Then I got really busy this year. This year I did a conference. I launched the book. I've been like really, really busy, and I realized that for like a month, from like I was even going to the gym in January, February, March. I traveled a lot in March. I went to like 2 countries. April, I was in America and Canada, and I wasn't exercising, and I started feeling uncomfortable. I was just feeling, the mess was coming up. I was seeing the mess inside me too much. And I was like wondering what's going on. I just picked up my phone one day, and I've not read a book in the month of, I've not read any book in the month of May. And it just occurred to me like, you haven't read any book throughout this month. And this was last week. You're not working out, you're not reading book, you're not even doing affirmation, and you're wondering why you're feeling somehow. Oh God. I put on my book, I said, what book am I going to read? And it just I just went to my spirit, check the Bible. And I checked the Bible, and I saw that I had actually started a devotional on the Bible app that I did not read. I joined my friends, I brought my friends in, they read it, and I didn't read it. It's me that found the devotional. And I opened the first one and I read it, and it was about purpose and vision. And I finished reading, and I was like, oh my God, actually, this is when I needed to read it. The next day in the morning, 5 a.m., I woke up, wore my sportswear, entered the streets, prayed, read affirmation. By the time I came back, I don't know what you're coming with, but like I was supercharged. I was ready to face. It was like, who are you? Bring the mountains, Zerubbabel. I am going to make you plain. Where do you get affirmations? So I actually have recorded 2 affirmations for real estate. I have a lot of affirmation. I think that there are lots of affirmation online. I wrote affirmations myself because I listened to some and I felt it doesn't relate with me. And then there was no affirmation on real estate. So I wrote for real estate that I listen to every day. But I would send a one affirmation link that I usually listen to. This is my wealth affirmation. I'll share it with you. You help me send it to them. I'll send you a link. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it. I listen to that one before going to bed every day. Then in the morning, I listen to my own. Like I went to the studio and recorded my affirmation. I went to the studio, recorded it, that I wanted it to be good. I wanted to publish it, but I have not had the time to publish it. But I listened to it and I get filled myself. But you see, why did I share that story? I knew what to do. I was doing it for years and I fell out. Sometimes you know what to do. You stopped doing it and then you're wondering why you are in that rut. Get back on the things that you need to do. Get back on it and start doing them, and you will see that your story will change. You would have more results because you have aligned back to the routine that nourishes your soul and charges up your spirit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis. You believe your own words more than you believe somebody else's words. So what you say to yourself is very important. So I recorded a voice note. I wrote it down, formed to myself, and I recorded it. And I made it so beautiful. Put my pictures. So when I play it, I start seeing my pictures at different stages and different levels and all that. So it's the affirmation is big. It's something that we all must do. It's very important. As a matter of fact, it was what I was supposed to talk about with the 1%er club like next week. I have a meeting with them. the resilient spirit. Because I realize, and that's why I like everything that you're sharing, because a lot of people are giving up because of the economy and because of life, and I mean the lemons that are being thrown at them, instead of them to make a lemonade out of it, they're holding on to the lemons and all that. And I'm happy you spoke about the mess, because you must have a resilient spirit. What is your why? Most of the times things, what drives us is the why. That's a resilient spirit. So I'm happy. I mean, the spirit of God is one, is what I had in my heart to share next week. That the affirmations, speak to yourself, hear yourself speak, have an open mind, be positive, see it happening. See it happening. Fix yourself first, fix your inner self, because you're an inside outward person. If you can't fix the inside, the outside will always be a mess. How do I get to the top in real estate?
Oh, okay. Define what top means to you.
Hmm.
Define the area of real estate you want to play in. Create a list of like the top people you have access to, not top. Maybe 4 or 5 people that you have access to within the real estate space, and cultivate a relationship with them. They will be busy, they will not have time for you, but you will chase them like your life depends on it.
True.
And you will nurture the relationship. You will buy their books, you follow what they do, you follow their posts. Because that I stopped following a few real estate companies because I felt like it was influencing my creativity, but I nurtured my relationship with the CEOs one-on-one. I think that you cannot become a top real estate player without cultivating relationship with successful real estate people. Even in the US, I've had conversations with real estate players in the US already that are successful. Almost there's no trip to the US I've been to in the past 4 years that I've not visited real estate sites in America. Never. I would get to. There's nothing called vacation in my like right now. I'm working on it. I've not reached there, but I don't. Even when I'm thinking and telling myself I'm doing vacation, I will end up still something will shall come up. I'll enter into a real estate project. So I feel, one, study, have an in-depth knowledge of the industry. Number 2, get into the community of the industry communities. Like in Nigeria, we have what is called Redan. If you're in Nigeria, you should be in Redan. You should be in a community of real estate people. You should attend meetings where you talk to real estate people. If you are not, you can't do the journey by yourself. I was telling my realtors that every month we're going to be having physical meetings on a weekly basis. You need to attend. You need to be in the group with people that are having that conversation physically or even virtually. You must be in that space where you are hearing about the industry and the successes people are achieving in that industry, because that would inspire you not to give up when you face challenges. So and you need to have courage. Every industry will require courage, but real estate, oh my goodness, you need to have courage, because it's a big deal. It's land. All the wars that have been fought in this world have been fought over real estate. Is resources. Is what is in the land or on the land or the land itself. It's about positioning. Even the Ukraine and Russia crisis is real estate's battle. So real estate is a battle, and you need to have the right resilient spirit to deal with it. But you also need to have a community, because you alone, no matter how resilient you are, I told you what happened to me. I just faced one challenge with US, and I'm like, I have Nigerian problem. Let me leave it. So you need to have a community of people that would, and speak life to you when you feel down. So there was another question I saw.
I think someone said they have a poor decision-making skill or something. I don't know if you can find it.
I will not even use that language for yourself. Don't. This is an area of weakness, but you're going to work and improve it. Decisions. There's nothing called poor decision making. In every decision you make, some will be good, some will be bad. You need to make a lot of decisions so that you do the bad ones, the good ones will overshadow the bad ones. There would always be bad decisions, things you feel like, I shouldn't have done this. So have we all not had decisions we wished we did not do? I'll tell you to consult the Holy Spirit. My mom asked me when I had a challenge with one of my real estates, one of my estates. He said, "Did you pray before you bought this land?" I'm like, "Hello, I did." They say, "So why?" But I'm like, "Mommy, God did not say we will not face challenges on the things He says He will be with us through." So I did pray. So you might feel you made a poor decision, but it wasn't a poor decision. It's just that the decision had collateral damages that you have to deal with. But here is where your faith is a must. You must have faith, because what my faith says is that all things work together for my good, even what seemed like a bad decision. At the end of that bad decision, it will be like the person that, they killed Jesus. Oh my God, they felt like we finished him. If they had known that his death was all part of the system to help bring salvation to the world, they won't have done it. There is no bad decision. You must believe it, believe it in your bone, even when you feel like it's killing you. Your word will be that there is some good in this experience for me, because all things work together for my good, even when I don't figure it out, even when I don't see it, even when I don't understand it. At the end of the end, is it not the same God that took somebody into prison? Would he have met the people that took him to the palace? The prison is a bad place to be in. Oh, poor decision. He should have just slept with that Potiphar's wife. What's there? Not to sleep with Potiphar's wife. Then you end up in prison. It's like a poor decision. Why did I not just sleep with this woman now? But it was all part of it. So what you think is a poor decision, look at every challenge again and think about it and reframe it and start telling yourself, even some people have married and they feel like I've made a poor decision in my marriage. It's part of my story. It's for my good. I tell my friends that I've gone through divorce, and I tell them, I say, see, don't beat yourself up. Yes, you got married, you got divorced. It was a bad decision in your mind. But guess what? You have a story to tell. Your success after the divorce is part of the healing and success and motivation for many other people going through the same challenge. So don't waste your pain. Put it into purpose. Use it to add value. Okay?
Life is a marathon. It's a journey, and you have to take it piece by piece. So I'm signing out. See you guys again. Have a wonderful weekend. Think, reminisce on all these things that you have heard. Work on it. Intentionality is the key to move forward. You can have heard all these things, but you have to be intentional about it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.